welcome. You are listening to At Home with Ifenu. Here, we'll talk about helping women know and understand their worth, find fulfillment in who they are, and in what they do. Every other week, we'll talk about your identity as a woman, discovering your unique purpose, intentionally raising the next generation, and your influence in homemaking. I am your host, Ifoma Nekat Omoni.
Hello, and welcome to another. Wow, I don't even know how today is going to be, but I just want you to get your comfortable spot. You are welcome to At Home with Ifeno. Today is going to be an awesome time. I promise you. You wouldn't be wasting your time by giving us your listening ears today. But before I start today's discussion and conversation, I just want to ask you, how are you doing? And I say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. It's a great day to be alive, and I'm sure you have high expectations. Great possibilities are coming your way. Be you at home, our wonderful stay-at-home moms, those that are on the way to the office, those that are having a great time in their shops, wherever you are, just take that comfortable spot, get your water, tea, or coffee, and feel at home, even if you are not in your physical home. You're at home with Ifeno today, and I have an amazing guest. To be very serious, I saw it as a privilege and favor. Yes, because he's a very busy person, and I didn't know that just asking once will get me that open door. So my guest today is a VIP, and I want us to welcome him in a very warm At Home with Ifeno way. You are welcome, sir. I have with me today Coach Chindah Chindah, a very important personality, and he's an expert in anything that has to do with marriage, family life, sex, marital issues, whatever you have been juggling in your head about this thing we call marriage. I believe that God is going to use him to download to us today. So please listen attentively and make sure that you take notes as well. So you're welcome, Coach Chindah. We are delighted to have you today. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for giving me the time, the audience, to be able to share with your people and also to learn from you as well. So I'm looking forward to today.
Okay. So knowing that you're a very busy coach, before we go into today's topic, is there anything you do to relax? Because you are very is there anything like relaxation on your schedule? What do you do to relax, Coach Chindah?
Oh, interesting one. Yeah, I actually do relax, and I do relax. I love worship music. That's very good one for me, because I have a worshiper in the house. My wife is a worship leader, and which is good, and I love to relax with worship songs. I go bicycling. Okay, I like to bike as well. Okay. I have my kids. The area is very good for biking as well. We go for walk. Sometimes I go to the gym just to chill, and there exercising, listening to music, pushing myself. It's also part of relaxing. And sometimes I just chill with my wife on the sofa, right? Just cuddle up, chill, watch. Yeah, sometimes we'll watch Netflix. That's just the truth, all right? So just chill and relax. And then sometimes I also use reading, especially audiobook. Oh yes, that's my go-to place. I love audiobooks, and it just helps me relax. And they have all kind of content that you can just use to sharpen your mind, enjoy and indulge yourself with a lot of intellectual stuff that can still keep you relaxing, but at the same time you are learning as well.
Chindah said one of his ways of relaxing is chilling with his wife. I didn't forget that one though. He chills with his wife. He spends time with his special babe. And that's a very good tip to take note of, because it will lead us to today's topic. So, Coach Chindah, our topic and focus for today is intimacy in marriage. Intimacy in marriage. From your own expertise and your own personal experience, being a married person, at least you are not just going to be telling us from what books might say. What would you say intimacy is? What is intimacy?
Intimacy for me is very simple. It's basically, from my own experience, there's no definition from anywhere or whatever. Intimacy for me is being one with my wife and accepting each other. That's it. It's very
being
simple.
One
being
with your
one
wife. Very, very simple.
And accepting each other. That's it. Because for me, there's no need to complicate it. There's no need to talk about too many grammars and all that. You can't have great marriage if you're not one. And God said that a man will leave his father and his mother and he will cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. That one flesh is intimacy. Even though you have unique personality within the relationship, you have unique desires and needs and wants and aspirations, but there's one thing that is common. We are from the same source, and our Father is God, and He made us and He put this thing in us to desire one another. So when I say being one, what I mean by being one is my spirit, my soul, my body is in oneness with the person that is significant in my life, which is my wife.
Wow. Being one in spirit, soul, and body.
That's right.
Very, very interesting. I don't know if that has answered my next question. Are there different types of or levels of this intimacy we are talking about?
Absolutely. Yeah. You see, I always say that intimacy is so fundamental, so critical when it comes to having a marriage that works, a marriage that is real, a marriage that is enjoyable. As a married man myself, and someone that is very huge in marital enjoyment, and somebody that is huge in against enduring marriage. I enjoy marriage. I don't endure marriage. Now, even if I endure, there could be maybe sacrifices, selflessness for the greater good. But I am not in the ministry of supernatural endurance in my marriage. That's not the intention. I'm here to enjoy. How do I enjoy this marriage? Is by having these intimacy types. And I'm going to break it down and give some practical examples as well. When you talk about intimacy, we have different levels. I mentioned spirit, soul, and body. All the types of intimacy I'm going to talk about now, they all spring out from the three dimensions of a man or a woman. If you talk about the spirit is our God consciousness, it's our God intuitiveness. It's what connects us to the supernatural being, which is God. Right? That is what He breathed in us, and that is what connects us to something bigger and greater than us. And in that spiritual place, that is where this supernatural encounter happens. And when we talk about a supernatural encounter, we're saying your personal relationship with God, your personal relationship with Christ. This is where you share the same meaning. You are from the same source. You share all your beliefs. You share your directions, you derive your values, you derive your identity, you derive your principles. You are under obligation to report to something greater and bigger. And acknowledging the fact that we are human, and because of the fall in the Garden of Eden, we have some limitations in our ability to operate in a greater dimension than what happened to us before. Yes, Christ came to restore a lot of these things, but we are still in a broken world. Does that make sense? We're still in a world that is not Garden of Eden, all right? And because we're still there, we need to constantly assess something bigger and greater. And that is the vacuum God has put in us, which is the spirit that wants us to connect with God. So for me, spiritual alignment and connection and intimacy is a big thing, because there's no way I can function in the other areas if spiritual intimacy is not number one. There are other types of intimacy that I cannot put number one. Spiritual intimacy is number one, which means I need to pray with my wife, which I do almost every day. We read the Bible together, right? We worship together. We fast together. We cry to God together. We talk about spiritual things together. All these things are a way of making us realize we are under obligation to bow before somebody that is greater than us. And that person is our creator, which is God. And this is very important. Without the spiritual intimacy, you are going to be deficient over time. The reason why you're going to be deficient over time is because every other thing does not satisfy ultimately like spiritual intimacy. Whether you're talking about emotional, talking about physical, talking about intellectual, talking about recreational, talking about experiential, talking about creativity, talking about cognitive intimacy, I can begin to name all sorts. Every one of those minus spiritual intimacy, you're already on the sinking ground. Because these things are very transit. What maintains marriage is the spiritual intimacy, which is long lasting and which is going to keep you even after death. So is the bedrock, is the beginning, is the standard, is the number one of all. If you can get this right, then every other one you add is subsidiary, and they can make things better for you. Not that these other ones are not important, but when you remove spiritual intimacy, you have decided to submit yourself to another power that never created you. You have decided to hand over your marriage under an ideology, under philosophies, under different kind of belief system that will indirectly influence your actions, your behaviors, your mannerism within the confinement of that marriage that is not originally given to you by God. So spiritual intimacy is great. Every other intimacy that I'm going to talk about, spiritual intimacy is the one that gives those ones effective meaning. Is one that gives those ones the functionality and the ability for you to actually act in a way that is responsible in the fact that spiritually you are under supervision, you are under accountability, and you're going to give account of whatever you did from all the other type of intimacy, but you're going to be under the spiritual intimacy, which is the ultimate. So when I see couples, they want this, they want that, they go there, they do this, it's okay. But guess what? You are just like building a house on a sinking ground. You need the spiritual foundation to keep you, and then the next will go forward. So that is important. And prayer, connection, fasting, reading the Bible, understanding God, doing ministry together, worshiping God, all these things are what helps you to keep you spiritually awake and spiritually dynamic in all the other areas. Now let's go to the other type of intimacy, physical intimacy. We have the body. Yeah, the body, we have the senses, we have the touch, we have the feeling, we have the seeing, we have the hearing. These things are necessary for our own physical sensual satisfaction. Look, when you hug, when you kiss, when you touch, right? When you make love, when you romance, when you do foreplay, you need to understand that the greatest place you are benefiting is on the body, physical, human dimension. And when you are connected spiritually, you ensure that your physical intimacy is pure. Because the Bible says marriage is honorable, bed undefiled, right? But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge. So spiritual intimacy gives you the accountability to ensure as you are enjoying physical intimacy, you are still maintaining purity. So this is where adultery is not allowed, pornography is not allowed, emotional intimacy is not allowed, side cheek, side elephant, side hippopotamus, side giraffe, all these side things they have everywhere, it's not allowed. Right? Side chicken and side whatever, it's not allowed. Giraffe is not allowed.
All the sides are not allowed.
Yes. Whether they are bigger size, smaller size, medium sizes, they are not allowed. Right? So, and this is where you go deep into intimacy and physical intimacy. So the byproduct of spiritual intimacy, one of them is physical intimacy, where you connect physically and where you engage. But that's not enough. We now go into emotional intimacy. The soul, our soul is made up of emotions, our will, our intellect, okay, and affection. Emotional intimacy, this is where you are able to, this is where you connect. This is where you are able to see things from an internal perspective, where you bond in your feelings, you bond in trust, you bond in understanding each other's perspective over time. You are so close. You know, it's where friendship is born, right? It's where friendship is born when you connect it emotionally and you are close. You are that leads you into other area of intimacy. But it's practically important that in emotional intimacy you are just free to share. Nobody is judging you, condemning you, abusing you, bringing you down, belittling you. You are emotionally intimate with your spouse in thoughts, feelings, experiences. You are able to open up and you are honest. You communicate better. You are able to listen. You don't shut the other one down. You're not an interrupter all the time. You are just free to be yourself with your spouse from that emotional perspective. Now, with that will even help with physical intimacy, where you find time to become affectionate, where you prioritize each other's needs and you support each other. In my marriage, how do I emotionally connect? How do I physically connect? You know, there are a couple of things I do in my marriage. There are days we call Garden of Eden, when the children are not around. Me and my wife is naked. We eat breakfast naked. We do work at home naked. Everybody is naked. We just enjoy Garden of Eden like we are here. There's something about it. We hug, we touch, we speak, but nobody is there. But we're enjoying that intimacy. And again, we just share anything. My wife can freely share anything with me. I can freely share anything with me. No hidden thing. No, this one is for my parents. This one is for this one is for that one. You are open and you are free. I allow my wife to express herself. Tell me how you are feeling. Where do you want me to help you? Do you just want me to listen? Just actively listening. These things are important. These things are critical. You spend quality time together. Date night. Is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Do you have these things in your marriage? These are physical intimacy. Not just walk. Do you have time to just laugh, just smile, time to do things together, things that you love? Now, another type of intimacy again is what I call intellectual intimacy. Look, whether you like it or not, you've not known everything about your husband and wife. As we grow older, we intellectually change. Things begin to evolve. Sometimes the color you like when you were younger, now you have changed the color. Sometimes some things that interested you before no longer interest you. So what are you going to do as a couple? You need to continuously know how your spouse is evolving in their ideas, in their thoughts, in their interest in life, in the things they want to do, what they want to achieve. You engage in deep stimulating conversation where both of you are you just want to share your lives. And by sharing your life, you are involving, if you're the one that take a walk, you do some hobbies together. If you're the one that engage in learning anything together, you just keep doing that. And in the process of doing that, you are discovering about your spouse, you're understanding more about your spouse, you are asking questions about them, you are knowing more about them. But unfortunately, you have many people today, they know so much about their friend outside the marriage. They know so much about people outside the marriage, but the person they are living with, they don't even know. They don't even understand certain things about them. So that begins to ask you, what kind of conversation are they having? Did they actually discover themselves? Did they find ways to discover themselves? And by discovering yourself, by getting involved in things, acting together, you can just go out. Maybe you can take bicycle together, you can take classes together. Some people might think, oh, you have to be abroad to do things together. That is just completely not true. Wherever you are in the world, in the bush, in the urban, in the town, it doesn't matter. It's all about planning and strategizing how both of you can continuously enjoy yourself. It's not about work, children, church, activity. You also have a life. And you need to continuously build yourself up to make sure that the marriage is not boring. So marriage is as dead as anything. Nothing is exciting. Mama Nkechi, Mama Abigail, what are you doing? Come back here. Sit down. Give me my food. Sleep. Wake up. Let's. That is not marriage. So you just need to continuously build that to ensure that you change the dynamics of what is happening in that relationship. You can read book together. Me and my wife will read book every month together. Sometimes we'll watch documentary together. Sometimes we attend marriage event together in different other places together. We take breaks as well. We go out. We have different times in the year that we have to go for a break. It doesn't matter within the UK, outside the UK. And sometimes we just go out. And the budget is so small. We just go somewhere, buy something, and we just sit down, we just talking and be laughing. And even sometimes we just drive out. We don't have anywhere we are going. We just say we just want to drive for 30 minutes to just see things around, and we're talking in the car, we're discussing, we're sharing. All these things are part of you just enjoying each other, knowing each other, finding out about each other. And then we also have creative intimacy. And this is where you see you're doing something with your spouse. The question is, how creative are you doing something? Let's say, for instance, today, this birthday, this year, you bought flowers. Every year you're buying flower. And you can see that some of the flowers are even dying on the table. Nobody's even putting them inside something to leave, at least for 3 days. That should tell you something that, look, this flower is boring now. Okay? Or can you go and ask, what do you want? What do you want us to do? Can we dance together? Can we go for classes together? Can we paint? Just be creative. Even in the bedroom, some people, since they got married, the only position they did and they're still doing is missionary, because they think that is what Jesus told us to do in the bedroom, and that's what they've been doing. Every other thing they cannot do. If you try, no, that one, please don't do it. No, this is it. Who even told them that is God that invented missionary? Nobody know how Adam even slept with Eve. Whether they slept on top hippopotamus to deliver Adam, nobody know. No, whether they slept on top tree, whether it's by the river, nobody even know. So the person that brought this missionary thing, and now they're saying it is only the woman must be down, the man must be on top. Who told you that? The most important thing is different way to enjoy yourself by entering each other. You want to enter in the air, in the land, in the sea, in the heavenly places, whatever you want to do, as long as both of you are comfortable. Obviously, not the one that one person's leg is in the moon and the other person's leg is in Nigeria. Obviously, that's dangerous, right? Somebody can fall down and die. You have to do what is comfortable. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, that's be creative. Don't be boring. Be creative. That's what we are saying. And then the other one again, I want to mention, which is so important, recreational intimacy. My sister, some people don't have recreation in their life. Like they just think that maybe they are brothers and sisters of Jesus Christ from Mary. Maybe we were not brothers and Jesus Christ. So in their life, they've already told themselves, thou shalt not enjoy in this world, only in heaven thou shalt enjoy. Okay? So no enjoyment, no leisure, no play. Some spouses, they don't even laugh. Anytime they laugh, it's like they have committed sin, because they're in the ministry of Jesus wept. Jesus wept. Nothing. And you're just wondering, what is happening to this man? Other people, when you see their face, it's like you should run away, because their face is like, if you're near me, you see what I'm going to do to you. Why can't all this stress you're using to put your face very hard be free? Do some hiking, do some cooking, watch movie together, just enjoy yourself. Okay, look, if you might think about this, right? If you get married, who are you supposed to enjoy your life more with?
Your spouse.
Exactly. But now, people are enjoying their life more with their friends outside. I'm not saying you should not have friends outside. There's a room for that. But for you to just be enjoying people outside, and the person in the house you're not enjoying, and you say, well, as long as I get what I want outside, it's okay. But the marriage is like your roommates. It's like you are flatmates, business partners. So transactional. There's nothing really exciting. And I don't think that is God's plan, right? That is not what God wants us to do. If you don't know about marriage and relationship, you say, well, my mother and my father, they did not even play orga. They did not even dance. They were all the time busy in the farm. My father was a professor. My dad had the hospital. Nothing. I've never seen them. And they really did very well in life. Who told you? Go and ask your mother. It will tell you how your mother, how everything was so boring. Go and ask your dad. You know, so the fact that you didn't see your parents enjoy marriage doesn't mean that you should also follow the same. Maybe that is all they know at the time, but we know more now. We have the opportunity to do more now. So why do you continue to stay like that? So make sure you engage in things at least once a week or once in 2 weeks or once a month. And whatever it is that is holding you back, break it. If it's issues, if it's problems, obviously find a way to settle it. If you cannot settle it, come to some of us. We can help you out. Because this marriage is a massive journey. And for you to be suffering and be enduring. And some people are just saying, well, it's just a short time, 70 years to live here before we go to heaven. I don't know about that, because this ministry of suffering that you have joined with other people, may God be with you guys. I am not in the ministry of suffering. I want to enjoy my marriage. I want to enjoy it. And by enjoying it, I know that it's very, very important. And it will help you. It will give you strength. It will give you meaning. Find time to go away. Weekend getaway. Go for programs. Do something for yourself. Go to a restaurant you've never been before. Try to recreate how you met her before. Do something that is funny. At least, I just beg you, just laugh in Jesus' name. Please, just try to be happy.
There is so much pressure, Coach Chindah. Thank you. In fact, this one you have given us is a textbook already. If we write, I know you told us that there are different levels of intimacy, and one thing you highlighted, which I'm very happy you emphasized, it was that spiritual intimacy, and because that is where every other one will flow out from, whether it's emotional or physical.
That's right.
But I noticed, I might be wrong, but I noticed that anytime you talk about intimacy in marriage, the first thing anybody thinks about is sex. Why is that so? Why do people think that intimacy is just about sex? Because I believe that you could have sex with your partner and you are not intimate. So why is it that people feel when you talk about intimacy is just about sex?
Wow. It's very sad, because that is what they know. That is what they have seen. And that is what the movies, the tabloids, the magazines, that is what they know. So it's lack of understanding, really. It's ignorance. Okay? Intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is just one of the activities that help you to achieve intimacy. So sex is one of the activities that help you to achieve intimacy. So for you to come and say intimacy is sex, now you can see that there's a serious misunderstanding there, right? So it's lack of understanding that makes people think when you just talk about intimacy, you're talking about sex. Because that's what we watch. That's what we see. That's what we've experienced everywhere. The whole world is just charged around sex. And when you use the word intimacy, the next thing is sex. And sometimes when they talk about intimacy, the next thing they talk about is sex. So we have grown up with that. We have read about it. We have seen it. But anything outside that, we don't know. So you can only do what you know, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? So if you don't know, you don't know. And if you don't go to find out what you don't know, you will continue to do what you don't know. And you will never know anything that you're supposed to do that you're supposed to do. Right. So
there will be no change. It will be the same thing.
Absolutely. So it's lack of knowledge that makes people think like this. And if you think about this, the Bible is the foundation and the bedrock of intimacy. in Genesis chapter 2. It is not good that a man should be alone. I will make him and help me. Then God went further also to say that a man will leave his father and his mother and will cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Now, one flesh is intimacy. Now, when he say one flesh, he didn't say sex. He didn't say sex. He said they will be one. They will agree. They will complement each other. They will suit each other. Now, in complementing, in enjoying companionship, in supporting each other, in working together, this is where all the other intimacy begin to spring out from. So in working together, in agreeing together, in being emotionally connected, emotionally available, supporting each other, ensuring that you help each other, finding out about them, genuinely caring for your wife and your husband, doing everything you can to make sure that their life is better on a daily basis, giving 100% in the marriage. Look, even if you don't know the type of intimacy, right? If you just act and become the best version of yourself, you're already practicing different type of intimacy in your spouse. And the other thing I want to emphasize is this: many people focus a lot in the spirit and they forget about the soul and the body. Unfortunately, we have folks calling themselves Christians and worshippers of God. They speak in tongues, they go to church, they are very busy, they are doing all kind of Bible reading, they are everywhere, right? But they're not developing their mind. They're not developing their consistency, their discipline. They're not working on their emotional intelligence, right? But they're only focusing on spirit. So the fact that spiritual is very important, and the offshoot of spiritual intimacy is all this other intimacy, it is only functional if the soul and the body is acting, especially the soul. If you're not developing your mind, you will not aspire for anything different. You will not want to do anything out of the box. If you're not someone that is working on your emotions, your emotions will be all over the place, trouble, problem here and there. That is why you see people that call themselves tongue-speaking fire Pentecostals. But if you see the other aspect of their life, you even tell God, if this is how marriage is going to be, leave me in heaven. I don't want to be part of this. So it's just because we have become so lazy and we have become so ignorant to the fact that because you are in the spirit, everything just work out in the spirit. It doesn't work like that. We are still living in this world. You are a spirit carrying a body, your spirit carrying a soul in a body, right? So if you do not work on these three aspects of your marriage, you're going to struggle with intimacy.
Wow.
Let's say, for instance, you are not sleeping on time. It's going to affect intimacy. If you're not eating properly, it's going to affect intimacy. If you're the one that is over 35 and everything you do, you're in the ministry of eating gari and carbohydrate for the rest of your life. I'm just going to tell you now, even though you used to perform for 1 hour before 35 and 40, you'll be surprised you start becoming a 2-minute man and 3-minute man. When the wife is just about getting ready to travel with you in Dubai, you just realize that you just abandoned her in Sahara Desert. You have come back home. And the woman is asking, where's my husband? Where's my husband? And you are saying, sorry, I'm not here. I'm back home. What? How did you go? Where did you leave? And the woman is just in the desert, no water to drink. She's just there with camel, looking for you all over the desert. Why? Because you left her a long time ago. So if we don't look at our health, our body is going to affect us for sure. Absolutely for sure. So intimacy is looking after the three aspects of us. Your body must be looked after. Your spirit must be looked after. Your soul must be looked after. And please, can I say, all the people in the spirit, please, can you come down to earth? Because you can't just be living in the spirit. I marry in the spirit. I walk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I abide in the spirit. I go to school in the spirit. I start business in the spirit. Everything about you is in the spirit. And then when we look at the physical, you are not here. And we want you here. Wife wants you here. Husband wants you here. Every time you are in the spirit, in the spirit, in the spirit.
That's
Sometimes
why we have a body.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're always in the spirit, we're even wondering, where is your body? All right. So every time you're in the spirit is good, it's amazing. I'm a pro believer. I love God and I love Christ and I love the spirit, but sometimes let us act with works as well. Faith without works is dead. Let's balance things up. Don't always live in the spirit. I always tell some people that come to me for marriage, I say, look, if an angel come from heaven and he say, I want to marry you, please bring him. Let us do pre-marriage coaching with the angel because he's in the spirit. We want to tell him how we are living here. Okay. So that we know how to live with you on earth. Because the angel will go to work. He will come back. He will have babies. They're going to discuss. He will disagree. Okay. So we need to tell him this is how we work here. This is how we do conflict resolution on earth. Do you understand? So always being in the spirit is great, is amazing, but please let's not become so occupied in the spirit that physical things that we're supposed to be doing, looking after ourselves and our body, enjoying our life, working on our emotion, our mind, and developing our affection for each other, we are not doing it because all we want to focus on is Jesus wept. Well, it's good to cry, but please sometimes let us laugh, let us smile, let us enjoy ourselves.
Thank you so much, Coach Chindah. In fact, my laughing and my smile, I'm sure my listeners will be wondering, why is Ifeno laughing like this today? Because Coach Chindah is being very practical, So many people might be saying, this thing he's saying now, wow, is this your coach born again? He is very born again.
Superly born again, absolutely spiritual.
He is very, very spiritual. And he's just coming to tell us that we need to really put a balance. Because Coach Chindah, the truth is that many marriages are really weeping
Correct.
that there is no balance. There is no balance. And
that's true.
I don't know. I'm happy that you are a male. Why is it that I think I asked one of my guests one time, why is it that many men, they don't like coming for counseling or going for things that have to do with marriage? Why? At least you are in the area of the coaching in marriage. Is what I'm saying just my own thoughts or philosophy?
No,
Why
not at
do you
all.
think it's like that? Because if the men will yield to such, won't it help this intimacy in marriage?
It will help a lot. You see, we have a lot of problem as a man, right? This is why I'm really pushing to just start hosting conferences called Just Men Conference, to start educating men and start helping them. One thing about all this, the so-called thing being the head of the family sometimes gets to our head, and also ego. Ego sometimes is our problem. It's one of our weaknesses, all right? And sometimes, especially from your background, from your exposure, from your temperament, from what you have suffered, sometimes your trauma, everything like that, just make the men look like we are not interested in relationships in marriage. Most of the times it's because of our wiring, our programming. It's because of how we are brought up, right? You would have thought that somebody, when you are born again, when you come to Christ, everything will just transform and change automatically. But it's not the case, because the Bible says we should renew our minds, right? And the Bible says that we should study to show ourselves approved, right? But some people only study to show themselves approved only in the Bible, in the scripture, okay? But even the scripture, they don't even practice it. They're just head knowledge, right? And many people are really pretending. To be honest, many are just pretending to be spiritual, but they are not, okay? Because if you actually are spiritual and you're obeying God, right, you will know that there is an aspect of you that you need to work on a daily basis. So most men don't like being told what to do. They because they believe that they know it all. This is some men, not all men, but a lot of them. And I'm saying from a practical perspective, the people that reach out to me for marital help, 95% are women. Wives, the men, they rarely. And then when I even try to reach out to the men, please, so we need to resolve this issue. He said, I don't need counseling. I don't need anything. In fact, I remember something that really touched my heart. This case, this man is complaining that he's not having a lot of lovemaking, sexual intercourse with the wife. In fact, from what I found out, they have one sex in 2 months. So they have 6 sex in a year.
Wow.
Okay. And The man is a very good husband.
Wow.
He's doing very well.
Are they living in
And
the same city or
yes,
they
in
work
the same
apart?
house. In the same house. No, they
Are
live
they
in the
living
same
in the
house.
same city?
The same house. They are living in the same house. They go out and come back together. They are in the same house.
Wow.
But listen. Okay, so it's been like this for many years, and he's always complaining. He's always angry. In fact, there's always been fight and conflict, you know. And the wife told me she hates sex. Okay, she hates sex. I said, okay, why? When she said that, I now find out that the way the man is doing it is very bad. I'm so sorry for men. Yeah, because honestly, just because you have penis doesn't mean that you know how to do it. All right. Okay. So a lot of men don't know what to do, even though they have something to use. But the fact you have pen doesn't mean that your handwriting is good. Right. Okay. So and the fact that you can open your mouth and talk doesn't mean that every time you're talking sense. All right. So you can have something that is good, but if you don't know how to use it, it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? So the woman wants foreplay. The man doesn't do foreplay. You see the problem now? The man is not patient. The man doesn't connect with her. So a lot of things. And again, one of the things that puts her off, this woman was molested when she was young. All right. So we've tried to work on that issue of trauma. But the man also is not even helping matter. It's even making things worse. So because of that, she hates sex. Yeah, she hates sex. Okay, when she reached out to me, she was almost crying. I said, okay, fine, we're going to work on it. Guess what? The man was not around. So he just came into the country. The wife told him that this is what we're going to do. You know what the man said? Say, what? So he means a man will tell me what to do in my marriage. No way. You know what? This man is so-called spiritual, a leader in a particular church. You know what he told the wife? He told the wife, let's just keep praying. God will solve it one day. Did you hear what I said? He said, let us keep praying.
God will solve it one day.
God will solve it one day. The woman called me. We have already booked section. The whole section was cancelled because the man said he doesn't believe another man will tell him what to do in his marriage. But I now asked the woman, does your husband go for medical checkup? Yes. When he's sick, does he go to see the doctor? Does he see the GP? She said yes. I said, do you see how some people spirituality can cause trouble in their life? You are waiting for God to come and tell you, God to come and help you to do foreplay to your wife. God should help you to be patient with your wife, to connect with your wife, to spend time with your wife. God will also do that. So this is the problem I have with a lot of Pentecostals sometimes. We just put every responsibility to God. God must solve this. God must do this. God must do that. You know, it's really not right. God have his own thing to deal with in our life. But we too, we have our own to do. Faith without works is dead. So when we abandon everything and hand over everything to God, God will cook for you. God will tell your wife, sorry. God will help your wife. God will do this to your husband. God will do this to your husband. How do you expect that marriage to work? Okay, just think about it now, right? You don't take a shower and then you are waiting for God to come and bathe you. Jesus, bathe me. God, bathe me. You say, God, I don't feel like brushing today because you are saying that you can do all things. Oh God, use my brush and brush me, please. I need to brush my teeth. Please, my sister. Just think about that. Okay, you are not, you know you are hungry. You are really hungry. There is soup. Yeah, there is a soup. There is soup in the fridge. You know you can go and just boil that food and do your panediam or do your whatever you want to do to eat. And your wife has traveled to Nigeria and you are in London and she's going to come back in 7 days. And you stay here, say, because my wife is not around, Father, in the name of Jesus, go to the fridge and please get the soup out for me and put it in the microwave. God, I command you in the name of Jesus, please, can you help me do the pandediam for me? I am coming down. I'm coming down. I'm coming down. While you are praying like that, in 7 days, you're lying on the bed. Your wife will come back and the man is dead. Isn't it? Yeah. So why do we just think that God is going to be the one? Okay, now, let's say your wife is complaining. My husband, do me foreplay, touch my breast, touch my hair, do this one, suck here, do like this. And then you say, no. And the woman is saying, you're not even touching me, you're not even kissing me. You know, Everything about you is no, because you are so focused, you are so determined, you just want to be spiritual without, I don't even understand this kind of spirituality. And at the end of the day, you are saying leave it like that, leave it like that. All these things that people are doing, I don't even, me, I'm not born this way. I'm not born this way to touch women. If not because of children, I wouldn't have married. I am consecrated. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously, you're consecrated? Okay,
Wow.
fine. Okay, I get it. That is misunderstanding. That is wrong. And then some other men, they say they are fasting, or the wife is fasting. You see, they are fasting for 49 days, or they are fasting for 39 weeks, and they have started 3 days into the fasting, 4 days into the fasting. The wife is feeling horny and is touching the man. He say, honey, please, so I know you're, please, can we do something? And she's touching you, and she's braless. She's going where you are opening the Bible, John chapter 3 verse 17. You say, what kind of evil spirit is this? The Lord of Jesus Christ. I ban this woman. I command the fire from heaven. What are you doing? Excuse me. Where? When you started, you agreed together. But now it's 4 days and 6 days inside. The woman is horny. She's saying, please come and do something. You say, no, you must finish the 39 weeks fasting. You must do the 40 days with fasting. And then the woman is burning. The woman is suffering. You say, you must wait. That is misunderstanding the Bible. The Bible says the two of you should agree. And he said, don't stay too long before the devil start tempting you. And then somebody has come for you to ask for something. And again, where in the Bible did they say that when you are fasting and you make love to your wife, to your husband, you've reduced your anointing, your fire, your power, your victory? The devil is going to win you in your life. Where? So when we misunderstand all these things, we just complicate issues. And you know why I'm talking like this, you might not understand. The reason why I'm talking like this, because no, seriously, this thing is hurting me. I deal with so many people all over the world, and I see Christians are suffering a lot in this department. They are so much in pain. They are just pretending. Many of them, they are not happy, but they're just pretending. And then when you challenge them to change their mindset and to make them do something different, you still see them looking at you like this thing is not part of the Christian food. But you can see that you have a problem. Why not address it? Okay, another case that I dealt with, this woman, she said she don't like sex anymore because the husband is not always, the thing is not standing for too long. I said, okay, fine. What let's do? I started saying, okay, let me help this man. Eat garlic. Eat just natural stuff. You know what he's saying? I don't think I'm gonna eat this because my parents didn't even eat all these things. Is this your marriage? We are trying to help you. Okay, go and see a doctor. But yet you are suffering inside. You are the one still complaining, and you're the one that's still not able to last 5 minutes. Do you see the problem? Right? So you just want to be doing 2 minutes. You're doing 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Me, I don't know how that woman will cope in the ministry of 2 minutes. It's a very difficult thing to cope. It's very hard, right? Because the woman by science need at least 18 minutes to come. Please don't let me go into sexual talk now, because that's another level. Honestly, women need minimum of 18 minutes to have orgasm and to enjoy sex. Man just needs 5 minutes. If the man doesn't know how to train his body, train his organ, to be patient and wait for the arrival of the woman before he starts traveling to wherever he's going, can you imagine the problem that marriage will have? But when you want to teach them, they feel like, why are you teaching me? I know it all. I don't need any help. I don't need any support. The Lord is going to be with me. They keep praying wrong prayer, waiting for the Lord, waiting for the Lord. And the Lord is saying, stop waiting for me. I'm saving souls in Japan. I'm just casting out the devil in Israel. Why are you guys worrying me? Please solve your problem by the wisdom and the understanding that I've given to you. Some people problem in our marriages is because they've not read a particular book. It's because they've not gone for a particular seminar. It's because they've not just watched a particular YouTube video. You see what I'm saying? So ignorance is our biggest problem in this area. And because we're ignorant, we're doing the wrong thing, still claiming that we're doing the right thing. If what you are doing in your marriage is not working, if the bedroom is not on fire, you're not enjoying yourself. If you guys are just laughing, Mama Amaka, how you guys doing? Fine. Everything is not fine, but it's just saying fine, so that people will not begin to ask too much questions. You know yourself. You know it's not fine. You know that department is suffering. Why are you saying fine? He say, I want to be positive language. You've been saying fine. It's 8 years now. It's 14 years. Nothing have changed. Why don't you just admit and say, I have problem. I need help. Humble yourself and seek for help. You don't want to seek. Book you don't want to read. Courses you don't want to take. Seminar you don't want to go. YouTube video about this. Nothing you want to do. All you are doing that you are praying. Anyway, I leave you in your prayer. But we are doing everything and we're enjoying it. So you're on your own.
Wow. Today, I'm sure my listeners will be like, Ifeno, who is this person you brought to shake the table today? Well, this is Coach Chindah, and I'll give him the next few minutes to tell us about his online presence. So, Coach Chindah, how can my listeners connect with you online? How can they get you maybe to your seminars and to your programs online? So you tell us about your social media handles and what you do online so that my listeners can connect with you. I'll definitely put those links in my show notes, but I'd like you to just talk about what you really do online. Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Okay. Just before I say that, I want to just make it clear to everybody. All right. Don't be upset if you're not enjoying your marriage. But if you're upset, it means that you need work. Okay. If you feel down or you feel upset because of some things that have been said here, it means that you are awakening now. There's something that can change, paradigm shift. And I ended the last statement by saying, take action, do something. Don't wait for God to do everything for you. God have his own specialty. You need to do your own part. All right. So find a way to be proactive in finding solution. Even if you have to talk to your spouse about this, communicate about it. Say, look, we have to talk. I mean, we need to discuss about things. Some women say, oh, my husband will not listen. It depends on how you are saying it. Say it to him when he has just had an orgasm. He's gonna walk. Say it to him when he has cooked his nice meal. Say it to him when he's very happy because they paid him money. Contract has worked. Find when you can talk to your husband that he will listen. Find when you can talk to your wife that he will listen. Don't just come and be telling them something. The man came back from work. He's already tired. He's looking for food. And you're telling him, do you want, I'm not having orgasm. Are you kidding me? He's not even going to listen to you. Let him calm down and then know when to discuss, when to share things. And also try to initiate. Don't always be waiting. Because I know that sometimes you're wanting, because he's not doing, I'm not going to do. Because he's not touching, I'm not going to touch. Because he's not going there, I'm not going to go there. And at the end of the day, they are doing like, if you don't do, I don't do. If you don't do, I don't do. And that is very transactional. Okay? If you don't do me, I won't do you. If you don't go there, I won't go there. That is almost doing marriage like 50-50. Go all out. Because sometimes your positivity and your power and your ability to begin to initiate and activate change in your marriage and relationship, it can trigger the other person that is sleeping, the other person that is not even awake. So take initiative and action about what you want. If in this particular podcast, you just name one thing that you want to do differently from what we have shared, that's something I need to start doing, something I need to stop doing, something I need to continue doing. There is always something to learn every time. Don't listen to this and still go back and put your leg on top of the table and put your head somewhere and saying, God is going to help me. God is not going to help you anything. The podcast will not work in your life. The statement will not work in your life. Execute, take action. And if you try by yourself, you're still having some challenges, then let's come and meet me. All right? If you go
call
to
on
Instagram,
Coach Chindah, he's an expert.
I'm ready to support you. In fact, I just finished a marriage intimacy masterclass. Oh my goodness me. Please, I don't want to say this. Let me zip. But if you want to take your intimacy life to where you have never seen, even if you think, I quote again, even if you think your intimacy life is the greatest, please calm down and take the course. If you think that your intimacy life is best, you don't need anything again, I'm begging you, please just DM me or call my guys. Any of our social media, say Marital Management _ on Instagram, or you can go to website maritalmanagement.com, our email info@maritalmanagement.com, in TikTok or Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. We're just all over the place, right? Just tell us what you need, connect with us. They will give you access to this 4 weeks intensive marriage intimacy masterclass. Everything you want to know about intimacy and how you can change it. But please, let me warn you right now. Anybody that is taking that course and you're over 50 or you don't want to have children, make sure your contraceptive is working. Make sure that your menopause is real, because this course can reverse everything. If you're pregnant, don't call me. I'm not part of all this ministry. I finished giving birth to my children. I don't want to carry another person's child. So if you know that you are not ready to have other babies, then please watch it with care. That's what I tell them, because when you finish, you will understand. So if we start having children next year, don't call me, or end of this year. Don't say I was responsible. But if you want to be bold, make sure your menopause is working perfectly. Check with your doctor, your contraceptive is working for the ladies, because you are the one that carry the children anyway. The man will take the whole thing to another level. And because of the way the thing will be sweeting him, may the Lord help you and give you grace.
Is it for both couples to attend, or is any just one?
It was both couples. It was both couples. I made sure the husband and wife attend together.
It's better when the two people are there.
Yeah, both of them attend together. But guess what? If the man is thinking, I don't want to watch or whatever, I told one lady to do something. I told her she should be playing the thing while the man is lying down. Okay, and she look at some topics that is very interesting, because anything that has to do with us enjoying you guys, even if we're angry, you will see us looking at that and say, "Are you coming? Is there something wrong this morning?" We'll start talking to you even though we're not supposed to talk to you, right? I told her to. She increased it in the room. Guess what? The husband that doesn't watch anything, he doesn't do anything. The man started hearing when I'm talking, do like this, go like that, touch there, start like this, be like this. The man just told the wife, increase the volume now. Please increase the volume. The wife was shocked. And guess what? He now watched all the series. Now look at their life. It's amazing. So even if they don't want to, you can start by yourself. And it's very little. It's not much at all. But it's something that you can do one after the other that can change your life. So because we're talking about intimacy here, I will really highly recommend that recording. Get to us, we'll tell you, just a tiny little fee. And if you tell me that you're from Ifoma, tell me, and then we can even give you further discount as well, and be able to support her, because I want to support what she's doing, and I want to help her work.
Yeah. Thank you so much. At home with Ifeno, let's really appreciate Coach Chindah. He's giving us a discount. Please, let's take advantage of this. So I'm going to contact his PA about that special package. So Coach Chindah has really, in fact, he has many questions I didn't ask him. He was already answering the questions. I wanted to ask him what is God's perspective on intimacy in marriage. He has spoken about that. I also wanted to ask him, can you have true intimacy when marriage is played out transactionally, which is it's not going to, there's no intimacy when there is this transaction mindset, like until you do, I will not do, until you behave like this, I will not behave like that. You can't really enjoy true intimacy. So what will be your closing words for us couples? How can we make sure that despite the challenges, because we always give excuses, I need to work harder, I need to do this. Sometimes even children come inside the picture. What will you tell couples to encourage them to know that intimacy, first of all, is beyond sex, even though sex is one of the tools to, enjoy intimacy in our marriage? But what will you tell couples to do to make sure that their intimacy in their marriage thrives? Your closing words for us today, sir.
Thank you so much. This has been really great and really, really amazing. I'm so glad to be here. I just want to leave you with 3 things. Number 1, find you and find your partner. When I say find you, discover what pleases you, what you like. Discover where you want to go. what's the purpose of having this woman in your life, this man in your life? And by the time you discover what you want, what you like, then go ahead to discover what she likes, what he likes. You can document it, you can write it. These things sounds like very insignificant thing to do, but they are powerful, they are very profound. So find you and find your partner. And that's by increasingly knowing what you want, what he wants, what she wants. That's the first step. And then number 2 is feed you and feed your spouse. What I mean by feed you is, by the time you know what you want, you start looking after yourself in order to position yourself to be a better version of yourself. So you don't show up dull, dejected, depressed, full of anxiety, unrefined. You're always showing up with energy. You're always showing up with positivity. You're always showing up with somebody that are turning things around. Is in your communication, is in your conflict resolution, is in your self-awareness, is in your tolerance, kindness. You're always feeding yourself in order to transform you. And you feed yourself by reading books, by doing online courses, by getting mentorship, by joining a group, by getting involved, because you want to continue to implement, to work on you. And then feed your spouse simply means work together with them. Don't work in isolation. Don't work separately. Stop living separate lives. Look for a way to connect emotionally. Look for a way to connect in agreement. Look for a way to work as a team. When you work as a team, the Bible says iron sharpeneth iron. You begin to sharpen each other. That's feeding each other in order to become the best that you can offer in your relationship. And finally, fight yourself and don't fight your spouse.
Wow.
I say it again. Fight yourself and don't fight your spouse. What do I mean? Naturally, we are selfish human beings. It's all about us most of the time. This thing called selflessness, sacrificial, service, giving, offering yourself is a very challenging word to use most times. But put yourself in a position that you came into this marriage to serve. And by serving, sometimes your human nature want to fight it. So your human nature will say, don't forgive, don't tolerate her, don't tolerate him, don't be kind, revenge, attack. And at the same time, in fighting yourself, you don't compare yourself with others. We have different lanes, different places. Don't compare your marriage with others. Focus on what you need to do to build your home. Your wife is not the problem, you are the problem. Your husband is not the problem, you are the problem. Because if you work on you, you will realize that the person you are blaming all the time, pointing finger at, saying that they are the one that everything is falling apart. You look yourself in the mirror. What you are seeing is a reflection of what you are creating in the house. So your relationship with your spouse is a reflection of your inner thought and your actions. So if you don't like what you see, change what you are doing, and it will change what is happening in your relationship. So number 1, find yourself and find yourself. Number 2, feed yourself and feed your spouse. Number 3, fight yourself, fight your negativity, fight your unforgiveness, fight your doubts, fight your unbelief, fight all the negative thing that's going to destroy your relationship. And please do not fight your spouse and don't blame them.
Wow. The 3 mighty F's, 3 F's. I took note of that. Thank you so much, Coach Chindah. You really did justice to our topic, and I hope when we call you again, because I'm sure you're going to come.
Thank you. Yes.
I hope you will be willing to come. Please, for emphasis, how do we connect with that course you just talked about? What is it? What's the name?
Okay. If they can send an email, all right, we send an email to info@marriedlifemanagement.com, all right, or if they're on Instagram, if they're on Facebook, if they're on any of these social media sites, and just send us a DM, say that from you, they will get it. But also we can also contact you as well when you reach out to us and give you some of the details on how they can go about the course. Just make a little payment and then they will have access to it.
Is there a link?
Yes, there's going to be a link. Yes, there's a link. That's right.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us this week on At Home with Ifeno. Check us out on Instagram at Ifeno17. As always, subscribe to the show to catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh content. See you next in 2 weeks' time.